More than 500,000 of inhabitants are living in scattered settlements of Dar es Salaam and severely affected by floods during rain seasons. Building on the work done in Suna community in 2016 by UDP students from University College London in collaboration of CCI, recently CCI has extended their approach to reach strategies in city-wide scale, helping those who are severely affected by flooding to adapt to the conditions and mitigate the vulnerabilities of them. In 2017, UDP students came back to study 3 communities in the city which reveals different types of flooding, fluvial and flash flood, and saturation due to high water table. Flooding has become a recurrent issue that impacts livelihoods. People are largely unattended by institutions that fail to acknowledge the severity of their claims. The impacts of flooding run across the whole city, but represent a greater risk to vulnerable communities, especially low-income households living in unplanned settlements alongside or near hazard-prone areas like rivers and other water bodies.
We help other people who are affected by flooding. We tie up the possessions that are floating in the water, and we take them to their relatives and friends' home.
I've been living here for so long and don't have anywhere else to go. I really hope the government should at least improve the edge of the river. I believe if it can be improved, water could not come to my house from the river.
The source of the flowing water comes from the bridge, but the bridge is too low and there is too much sand and garbage underneath it. When the sand and garbage reach the bridge, they block the river flow.
Dwellers living in the informal settlements told us that water was flowing away from the house before, but now it's everywhere. So, we would like to explore how flood has impacted their house and daily life. By readdressing flooding as a multidimensional risk, flooding in Dar es Salaam has been exacerbated by issues of pollution. Various economic activities in Azadis areas have been negatively affected, such as agriculture, livestock breeding, and fishing. The environmental degradation and these activities will have strong impact on human health, such as children malnutrition, disease, and death. To upgrade infrastructure, World Bank provides support and resources to the central government to implement projects such as Metropolitan Development Program. However, the participation from local communities is limited. Also, this may reconfigure the use of river basin land.
The question of Msimbazi normally is a bit complicated. There is political interference in the decision, gave them some conditions, and those conditions were not followed.
Regarding the extent of Azadi's area, different interpretation of land has led to a breach of the conditions set by the National Environmental Management Council, in which basic requirements of drainage and sedimentation clearance are not fully met. Local councils have the mechanism that local communities can access funding to small infrastructure projects, but they are often too small or too late.
Other different initiatives regarding flooding, but usually they take smaller areas. One community or two, it's not citywide or nationwide.
Projects like the Ramani Huria, with support of government, institutions and local communities, have produced a composition of flooding maps that will enable better adaptive measures of unserved areas. Meanwhile, as settlers have adapted their ways of living to everyday flooding events during rainy seasons, communities have organized in arranging intra-community displacements and temporal improvements. With the help of CCI, slum dwellers started to construct small-scale sewage systems and toilets in various unserved areas. The Tanzania Federation, in collaboration with CCI, created Jenga Fund, enabling communities to better access financing to those upgrading programs. Therefore, not only government and stakeholders, also communities need co-production to improve their current environmental and living condition.
Addressing problems related to flooding is really challenging. It really needs a collective community action. But this is not a work of one group, of a small group of poor communities. It needs the community themselves to identify their problems, to come together and try to come up with a solution. But government should not be left aside. Government should always work together with the community to co-produce, to find an alternative that will help both the community, and also it will help the government, because if you leave these people alone, they will stay here, then they will shift maybe to another place which is hazardous like this, and always government will have another homework to remove them. So community have a responsibility, but as well as government and other stakeholders.
CCI is advocating to build a connection between different levels of government, institutions, and communities. The communities and CCI together can mobilize to create incremental change. However, the role of government and other institutions are essential to creating a socio-environmentally just approach to addressing flooding.